खड़ा रहेगा तो सीपीएफ कार्रवाई करेगा।
65% वोट हुआ है दादा, अभी तक 65% वोट हुआ है, जहां कुल 62% होता था कलकत्ता शहर में।
55% होता था।
अभी
वोटिंग परसेंट हो गया है। इस बार वोटिंग
अभी तो कर्ज कर गया पुराना।
दादा जब आप जय हिंद भवन में पहुंचे तो वहाँ हंगामे का कारण क्या था?
बांग्लादेशी मुसलमान घुसपैठिया जिनका नाम डिलीट हो गया वो लोग कर रहा था।
लेकिन टीएमसी के लोगों का आरोप है कि आप खुद वहाँ बूथ पे काफी देर तक पहुंचे और आपने बवाल करने की कोशिश।
ये कैंडिडेट को बूथ में नहीं जाएगा। ममता नहीं घुमा। मैं 14 कंपार्टमेंट में गया है 70 बूथ में। ममता बनर्जी 4 कंपार्टमेंट में गया है 20 बूथ में। तो उनको भी राइट है 267 में जाने के लिए। 96 वो वोटिंग सेंटर है, मेरा भी राइट्स है। मैं तो पत्रकार आप लोग को भी मैं गुंजाइश किया कि बाहर रहो, वोटर को मत डिस्टर्ब करो। वो 50-60 आदमी लेकर घूम रहा था। मैं जब गया था घर में घुस गया। क्यों? असीम बोस का घर में। बांग्लादेशी मुसलमान मुझे देख के उनका वोटर लिस्ट नाम चला गया ना, इसलिए थोड़ा बांग्लादेश का जो मुसलमान का स्लोगन है जय बांग्ला कर रहा था। मैं काफी 15 मिनट तो अलाउ किया, बोलने दीजिए कैमरा में। इसमें तो मेरा 10,000 वोट बढ़ गया ना। हिंदू जाग चुका है, सब हिंदू तांता लगा रहा है, बोले हमारी हिंदू भाई के ऊपर अत्याचार कर रहा है मुसलमान लोग। हम लोग को पहले वोट दे देना चाहिए हिंदू भाई को। मेरा तो फायदा ही हुआ। और उसका बाद जब सेक्टर ऑफिसर आया, आरओ आया, सबको मैं फोन करके ऑब्जेक्शन किया। वो लोग जब आया तब मैं उनको वहाँ एक नाला है, नाला के अंदर घुसा के आया।
दादा बहुत सारी महिलाओं को आगे कर दिया गया। क्या जानबूझकर प्लानिंग के तहत आपने महिलाओं को आगे किया गया आपके सामने?
ना महिला नहीं था, 2-4 महिला था। हिंदू आपका लड़का था सब मुसलमान। ये भारतीय मुसलमान नहीं।
क्या भवानीपुर में नंदीग्राम रिपीट हो रहा है?
इतना हड़बड़ी मत कीजिए, मार्जिन बता दूंगा 6 बजे के बाद।
ज्यादा वोटिंग की खबर।
All right, we're getting that reaction coming in from the LOP, Suvendu Adhikari, and just revisiting what happened earlier, Shravan, a short while back, when the polling had started, Suvendu Adhikari was surrounded by TMC supporters at the Bhabanipur booth. Then the police had to come in, use mild lathi charge to disperse the crowd during polling. And Banerjee, both Mamata Banerjee and Adhikari were seen inspecting booths amid that tense exchange. So we have seen a lot of updates coming in from Bhabanipur constituency. So it's a direct face-off between CM Mamata and LOP Suvendu Adhikari. At one point, Suvendu Adhikari was an aide, a very close aide of Mamata Banerjee.
Well, Nondigram, where the fight had taken place, the direct contest between Mamata Banerjee and Suvendu Adhikari, and he had wrested the seat from Mamata Banerjee, and that was the biggest headline as far as the last elections are concerned, apart from the fact that while it was being touted that the Bharatiya Janata Party will be able to wrest the power from Trinamool Congress, that did not happen. But this time, what has essentially happened was that the Bharatiya Janata Party had already declared that Suvendu Adhikari is going to contest from Nondigram, anticipating that perhaps even Mamata Banerjee might do that, but that did not happen. Mamata Banerjee did not really contest from Nondigram. In fact, it happens to be a close aide of Suvendu Adhikari, who is contesting against him from Nondigram, and the contest has now shifted to Bhawanipur. Now, Bhawanipur, in terms of the electoral composition also, if you really look at it, there hasn't been a lot of campaigning that has been done by Mamata Banerjee herself. You've had Shayoni Ghosh campaigning for her, and several other Trinamool Congress leaders. Mamata Banerjee has been in other parts of the state. But Suvendu Adhikari has basically sent across this message. And the message is about reviving Bengal, and the very fact that today Bengal, in terms of the number of industries that have come in, that has been far less. In terms of the fact that what you really look at, jobs have been another issue that has been raised by Suvendu Adhikari in Bhawanipur constituency. So it's going to be an interesting fight there. As far as what has happened so far, this morning in some polling booths where Shubhendu Adhikari was going in, you've had some people basically calling names, and Trinamool Congress workers have now been accused of calling names, and that had irked Shubhendu Adhikari and resulting in Shubhendu Adhikari, sort of storming in, moving towards the polling booth, accompanied by his security forces there, and thereafter a call actually goes in from Shubhendu Adhikari to Union Home Minister Amit Shah with regards to the Falta incident that has happened. Let me go across to my colleague Harsha, who's also been tracking this very closely. She's been moving from one constituency to the other. Harsha, what's happening in Kolkata right now? Bhawanipur, again, that's also the place where you would have non-Bengali population also there, and you've had several other BJP leaders, non-Bengali speaking BJP leaders also campaigning in Bhawanipur for Shubhendu Adhikari, wooing what is seen as industries, businessmen. What's the sense that you are getting in right now from Bhawanipur, and what's the voting percentage like?
One thing, Shravan, which BJP has ensured in this 294 seats in West Bengal is that they have not given tickets to anyone who is not from West Bengal. This they have assured to all the voters, and this the appeal also they made. They said it during the campaigning as well. They had hit on Mamata Banerjee by stating she had given tickets and sent to Rajya Sabha the people who are not exactly from West Bengal. Like they every time take the name of Kirti Azad, they keep on taking the name of the June Malia. They keep on stating that these are the people who are not from West Bengal, but they say that they have majorly 294 seats given ticket to people who are pure-heartedly from the heart of Kolkata, and they have ensured that these people will work for the welfare of the citizens when BJP comes to power. As you spoke about the star campaigners, Shravan, from Devendra Fadnavis, from CM Yogi Adityanath to HM to Himanta Biswa Sarma, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Smriti Irani, Anurag Thakur, Manoj Tiwari, what-not. More than 8 cabinet ministers have campaigned, and chief ministers of all the BJP ruled state. To note, not NDA, only BJP ruled state. All the chief ministers, Mohan Yadav, Bhajan Lal Sharma, Yogi Adityanath, Himanta Biswa Sarma, Devendra Fadnavis, they all have campaigned for BJP here. Tremendously for the first phase, for the second phase. In fact, Manik Saha was here just the day when the campaigning was back. Then there was the last day of campaign. He campaigned from morning 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's the strategy, how BJP has strategized not only Bengali but non-Bengali voters as well. The business meetings were done, the meetings with Marwadi community, the Jaiswal community, the Sindhi community, Bengali leaders, non-Bengali, Bengali, they have touched each and every pockets of Kolkata. Kolkata comprises of more than rural, it's more of the urban population which stays there, so it becomes very much important. In fact, if we speak about Bhawanipur only, the constituency from where Shubhendu Adhikari and Mamata Banerjee are in fray, in that particular constituency only, more than Bengali, there are non-Bengalis. If you see, there is Gujarati Pada, there's Marwadi Pada, there is Sindhi Pada and the Bania Pada as well. These all are the Padas, and where the urban sectors mostly reside. In past, they've never had such a belief in the electoral system in West Bengal. They always believe that whatever is going to be the situation, BJP is never going to come in power. The vote majorly is going to get waste. Therefore, there was a sort of perception also. Therefore, that sector never went out and voted. But this time, they all as a community have came out. They all as a community have worked and also have believed that this time there is a wind of change. And that we saw when we went on a campaign of Shubhendu Adhikari in Bhawanipur during door-to-door campaign. We spoke with Bengali community largely, the shopkeepers, the people who have small business, MSMEs, they all were saying, yes, we want change. We want infrastructure. We want development. We don't want our son, our youngsters, our children to go out and work, let's say in Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, somewhere else. We want them to stay here. There's no job opportunity. So this was the first election where people are speaking about anti-incumbency. People are speaking about being empowered. The youths, we spoke to the youths who go to the football club, cricket club, the certain clubs in Kolkata. And Shravan, there was a time these clubs used to excel. But if you you go today in these clubs, the infrastructure is immensely poor. There's no infrastructure for these kids who go to cricket club, football club, horse riding clubs, and now there's nothing. So they also have spoken about that, yes, we want to stay here, we want to get job here, we want to have an employment here, but there's nothing which West Bengal is offering right now. It's immensely poor. And there's a saying here, Shravan, you very well know about it, you have been to West Bengal several times. They say if you have 100 rupees in your pocket, you can easily spend the entire day can go good, it can go well, you can have a transportation, you can eat well, you can enjoy, you can play carom, you can enjoy with your friends, you can have an adda bazi in West Bengal, even if you have 100 rupees in your pocket. So that's the kind of ambition which people talk about here. But 100 rupees is not enough. In this time where there's so much inflation right now in West Bengal, people want more, they desire more, now they ambition more. And that is a wind of change which BJP has been hitting on in South Kolkata, in urban Kolkata. That's the main manifesto promises which BJP has done. In North Bengal, it was the infiltration. Infiltration was the main agenda of BJP. They've spoken about demography change. They've spoken about the commission which BJP will make in force once it comes to power against this infiltration. So these are the strong promises which BJP has made to the voters of West Bengal. Now how much this will turn and transform into people coming out, because polarization has happened. Polarization indeed has happened, Shravan, in several pockets.
Right.
Where minority or majority, BJP
Right.
very well knows.
Okay. Well, thank you, Harsha. Thank you, Harsha, for getting us all those details, getting us a ground report there, Harsha. Live coverage continues. We're taking a short break right now. We'll try to, of course, go to Salt Lake City as well. Our correspondents are on the ground. Bidhan Nagar is one of the very important constituencies there, where BJP has built a clear edge in the Lok Sabha contest. Stay tuned as we keep getting you the latest.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
MTH
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away.
And much more coming up, viewers, on the verdict. We are getting you all the live updates. A huge turnout in second phase of polling. Over 60% voter turnout till 1 p.m. Stay tuned. We are the fastest channel here, getting you every detail in these crucial elections.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा आर मसाला, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे,
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
साथी हाथ बढ़ाना साथी रे, जिंदल साथी सील साथी रे, हर डोली इसकी फील है, जिंदल साथी सील है, दोस्त की स्टेनलेस स्टील है, क्वालिटी में दम है साथी रे, बिजनेस करेगा ग्रो साथी रे, टाइमलेस इसका लुक है साथी रे, और जिंदल साथी सील साथी रे।
जिंदल साथी सील है तो असली स्टेनलेस स्टील है।
तो जब भी आप स्टेनलेस स्टील पाइप्स एंड ट्यूब्स खरीदें, जिंदल साथी सील जरूर चेक करें।
जिंदल स्टेनलेस, इंडियाज लीडिंग प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ स्टेनलेस स्टील।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है, स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R.
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
जिंदल साथी सील है तो असली स्टेनलेस स्टील है।
तो जब भी आप स्टेनलेस स्टील पाइप्स एंड ट्यूब्स खरीदें, जिंदल साथी सील जरूर चेक करें।
जिंदल स्टेनलेस, इंडियाज लीडिंग प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ स्टेनलेस स्टील।
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ। सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to fly too close to the enemy and take big risks. The ASRAAM changes all that. It can hit targets more than 25 kilometers away, almost double the old range. It flies at Mach 3 speed and uses a smart infrared seeker that ignores enemy flares and jamming better than before. The Indian Air Force flies more than 55 of these MiG-29 UPG jets in frontline squadrons. These planes guard the northern and western borders day and night. Earlier upgrades added new radars, engines, and digital cockpits, but the short-range missiles stayed old. Now the ASRAAM brings fire-and-forget technology. Once the pilot locks on and fires...
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Second phase polling underway in Bengal. Over 60% voter turnout recorded till 1 p.m. BJP buttons taped on EVMs in Falta. Repolling announced where EVMs were found taped. Bengal leader of opposition Suvendu Adhikari gherawed by TMC workers. TMC workers raised Jai Bangla slogans against Suvendu. Crude bombs recovered from Bengal's Purba Bardhaman while polling remains underway. TMC warns Home Minister Shah, says no one is going to save you from the ruthless response.
Alright, welcome back friends. Gesu and I take the coverage of Bengal Phase 2 polling forward with a lot of action happening on the ground. So let's hit the ground running. Gesu, I believe we have Mohan, our correspondent, joining us live from Salt Lake Police Station. There is some commotion that was reported a while back, and we have seen in fact Suvendu Adhikari contesting against Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee make a charge that these are not voters, these are hooligans of the Trinamool who have come and started intimidating voters. What's happening there at the Salt Lake Police Station? Mohan, बताएं क्या हो रहा है वहाँ पे जहाँ से आप रिपोर्ट कर रहे हैं?
एकदम देखिए, मैं बता दूं कि मैं अभी विधाननगर विधानसभा केंद्र का जो भारतीय देवी बालिका विद्यालय स्कूल है जहां पर बूथ लगे हुए हैं, मैं दिखाऊंगा कि सुबह से जो कतारें थी, अभी भी जो है चुनाव में लोग आ रहे हैं और अभी थोड़ी गर्मी थी तो लोग राहत महसूस कर रहे हैं, तो इसलिए अभी लोग आ चुके हैं, कतार में लग चुके हैं। मैं दिखाऊंगा। देखिए एक उत्साह है, सभी वोटरों के जो चेहरा है उसमें उत्साह नजर आ रहा है। मैम कब आई आप वहाँ पर वोट देने के लिए?
कुछ देर पहले ही आई हूँ।
तो कैसा फील है इस बार का चुनाव में?
इस बार तो लगता है मतलब
अच्छा लग रहा है ना, वोट देने में अच्छा लग रहा है। बस मैं देख सभी मतलब कुछ अच्छा एविडेंस लग रहा है आपको आज चुनाव में वोट देने में?
बहुत लोग आए हैं यहाँ पे और बहुत सीरियसली लोग ले रहे हैं इस बार वोट को, ज्यादा लोग आए हैं। बहुत तो
अच्छा व्यवस्था के लिए किसको क्रेडिट देंगी मैम?
आई थिंक यहाँ पे जो सेंट्रल के लोग आए हैं यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं सब, और हाँ डेफिनेटली गवर्नमेंट को, और इतना अच्छा तरीके से सब कुछ किया जा रहा है, एक प्रोसेस फॉलो करके सब कुछ हो रहा है, तो काफी अच्छा लग रहा है
एकदम। मैं देख रहा हूँ मैं और भी है भाई साहब, इस बार का चुनाव
Right. In fact, we're also getting in live visuals from Hooghly of people standing in long queues and voting. In fact, just in Mithali Bagh, there were candidates that were attacked. And take a look at this. The candidate that was attacked just 2 days back, going to cast her vote in Hooghly, wheelchair clad, and going to cast her vote in Hooghly in West Bengal. Now, in fact, various cases of violence that also came out today, Abhishek, and this is just one that, came out 2 days back where she was attacked by TMC workers possibly, and now she's going to cast her vote. This is in Hooghly in West Bengal. So, in fact, this visual becomes a testament of how, even if there is poll violence, this time around, I don't think people can be stopped from practicing their franchise. People are adamant to go out, step out and vote fearlessly, if not freely, at least in West Bengal this time around. And with the central deployment, viewers remember, the violence, the number of cases this time around has gone down severely. In fact, the voter turnout in 2026 in phase 1 crossed the 93% mark. Remember, in 2021, this was just a little above 82%. So that in itself, the numbers pose the confidence that people have on the forces that have been deployed in West Bengal?
Oh, you are absolutely right, Gesu, and this really calls the bluff of those who said that this is an over-deployment of security forces, that this is turning Bengal into a garrison state. But, okay, numbers coming in till 3 p.m. Phase 2, 78.68, almost 80% voting, keeping the pattern of about 10% voting per hour, which means the pace of voting has sustained since morning 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. now. This would consolidate further. Typically, it gets an upward revision of about 1 to 2%, and 78.68%, 80% voting taking place till 3 p.m. That's Election Commission number. Lines, long queues. We have seen from all across Phase 2 geography of Bengal. This is essentially the Kolkata agglomeration and nearby areas, some bordering Bangladesh, and this is essentially the erstwhile presidency areas, and urban areas, and typically Trinamool strongholds that are voting, and the kind of contest we are seeing with the kind of, even if restrained by presence of security forces, the kind of effort that's been made to disturb polling and peace shows that this is a keenly contested vote. This is Mamata clearly on the back foot. This is Trinamool fighting with its back to the wall and trying to preserve their foothold in the stronghold that they have. And we are seeing very energetic fight back from the BJP to get into this passion of the Trinamool. And we have seen earlier pictures of Shubhendu Adhikari in Bhawanipur, where he believed that Mamata would lose by 30,000 votes. That's his number, not ours. And we have seen Shamik Bhattacharya, the BJP president, claim that this time BJP will cross the double century mark, which is 200 seats out of a 294 assembly in Bengal. We have also seen Mamata Banerjee hit back saying this is terrorism, this is not how elections are held, this is intimidation of her voters. And we have also seen Abhishek Banerjee say if BJP comes to power, they would be treated as Rohingyas, hitting the Bengali identity chord. So obviously it's really panning out in the manner as it was being expected so far as political observers go about Bengal. And more pictures, more Adhikari victims. Mother alleges attack by TMC in Panihati. That was in the morning. Harsha is coming live. Gesu, you can go to her. Harsha is joining us live from Falta, I believe.
Yeah, Harsha joins us live. In fact, she's been traveling all across. Harsha, you have been taking a look at everything that's unfolding, not just from today. You also saw the first phase right there from ground zero. Now, in fact, Harsha, even in the second phase, the voter turnout has surpassed the 78% mark, and this is still 3 p.m. So this is a great number. And in fact, you know, this sort of reinstates confidence that like phase 1, Bengal may just break all records for a high voter turnout in phase 2 as well. And this is despite all the cases of heckling, violence, and cases of the EVMs, you know, being fiddled with. Harsha.
Yes, Kesu, and this is what I've also seen is that 78.6% voter turning out at, till 3 p.m. when in phase 1, while we were reporting, the voter turnout was near only, like in Mushirabad and Malda, it was around 72%, 73% while we were reporting in phase 1. So 3 p.m., 78.68% voting percentage is a huge number, is a number which clearly suggests that by 6 p.m. in the evening, the number will be around 90 plus only percentage, because that was the figure and the pattern which we saw in phase 1 as well. This time Bengal is voting heavily, and in everywhere we see that how voters are coming out from their houses and casting their vote. The franchise to cast vote in this festival of democracy means a lot. It also means there's a wind of change, and as Abhishek was stating this morning when we spoke at around 7 o'clock, was that this election is also going to be this way or that way. There's not going to be midway. There's not going to be any fractured verdict. There's going to be a sweeping mandate in whosoever favors this
this election goes, it's going to be a sweeping mandate, be it the people choose TMC or be it the people choose BJP, whosoever. But this is a wind of change, because it is often said that whenever there's a huge voter turnout, that really means that voters are coming out and casting their vote without intimidation, without fear, and without being scared of the local goons or political parties and franchising their rights and exercise of vote.
No doubt, Harsha. In fact, Abhishek, we also have some, bites that are coming in from, in fact, Trinamool Congress Supremo Mamata Banerjee. Also, very interesting to listen into what she must have said, especially after everything that's unfolded today through the day. So let's listen in to Mamata Banerjee and what she has to say about the phase 2 polling.
कैसे हमारा वर्कर को पिटा है रात में ऑफिसर इंचार्ज विजयगंज पुलिस स्टेशन भांगो जस्ट देखिए जो एट्रोसिटी कैन यू सी देखिए एक क्या गुंडाराज चल रहा है, देश को बेच दिया। ऐसे वोट कभी होता है, ऐसे कभी वोट नहीं होता है। वोट शांति से होता है, लोकतंत्र डेमोक्रेसी का फेस्टिवल होता है। लेकिन ये तो लोकतंत्र को पूरा बालोटा बजा दिया, पूरा इसको एट्रोसिटीज कर दिया। Intention is very clear that BJP wants that forcefully to rig the election. But our workers and people are ready to die, but they will not leave the.
वोटर्स के ऊपर लाठी चार्ज किया जा रहा है, तो भय मुक्त इलेक्शन कैसे होगा? तो भय तो आप ही दिखा रहे हो भाई। तृणमूल का बात छोड़ दो, अभी आप ही ने पूछा ना, बाली में जनरल वोटर्स के ऊपर लाठीचार्ज हो रहा है, वो तो तृणमूल नहीं है। तो आप चाहते ही नहीं हो। अगर 30 लाख लोगों को आपने वोट देने से रोक दिया है, तो आतंक और भय का परिवेश कौन फैला रहे हैं? इन लोग बोलते कुछ और है, करते कुछ और है। 15 लाख का वादा दिया और 1500 करोड़ का पार्टी ऑफिस अमित शाह के पार्टी ने बनाया। तो अगर भय का बात कर रहे हैं, तो भय ये फैला रहे हैं और भरोसा दीदी और तृणमूल दे रहे हैं कि आप वोट दीजिए, अपना जो अधिकार है उसका प्रयोग करिए और बंगाल को ऐसा बहुमत दीजिए कि बंगालियों के साथ, बंगाल के साथ ना इंसाफी करने से पहले ये लोग 100 बार सोचने पे आने वाले दिन में मजबूर हो जाए। बीजेपी कैन ट्राई एवरी ट्रिक्स फ्रॉम देयर रूल बुक, दे विल फॉल फ्लैट ऑन देयर फेसेस व्हेन द रिजल्ट्स कम आउट। भाई बंगाल में यू डोंट नो द पीपल ऑफ बंगाल। I have said Trinamool's tally will increase, Trinamool's vote percentage will increase. I stick to my claim, what I said 1 year back.
All right, let's go back to Harsha. She is still live with us. Harsha, all these sound bites that have come in of the leaders clearly indicate to a pattern. On the side of Trinamool, they are seem to be on the defensive. For the first time, the language of martyrdom perhaps coming in from Mamata Banerjee, saying that the Trinamool cadres are willing to die. Earlier it would have been they are ready to go for the kill. And Abhishek Banerjee falling back on the Bengali identity. On the other hand, you have BJP leaders like Shubhendu Adhikari taking on Mamata Banerjee in Bhawanipur, saying that Mamata would lose by 30,000 votes, and Shamik Bhattacharya saying they will cross 200 mark. So obviously, there is something that's really happening on the ground, Harsha, and you are there for us to tell us what's that, by which we are getting these kind of responses from the respective sides.
Abhishek, this time it's different. This time it's completely different. I've been here in 2021, in 2023, in 2024 as well. In 2023 even, me and Shawan both were in Diamond Harbour. We were attacked. The booth we were reporting from, there were the crude bombs which were hurled at that particular polling booth. There were murders, there were the people missing during 2023 Panchayat polls. But what we see right now is that it's different. I'm freely walking, reporting from different polling booths in Diamond Harbour, in the Falta area majorly being seeing the minority population, more minority population, people coming out and voting. But this time, there is there's no violence which is here. There's no tensions escalating at different polling booths in Diamond Harbour. Not only Diamond Harbour, but in the South Kolkata region as well. I have travelled in pockets of Diamond Harbour. I'm moving towards different assembly constituency in South 24 Pargana. But everywhere there is a silence. People are peacefully coming out. They're casting their vote. So this time it's different. And the statement which has come from Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee, Abhishek clearly indicates, and this is the same Abhishek Banerjee, Abhishek, 2 days back he was threatening the voters. He was threatening the electors that last time we were generous. You didn't vote in favor of us, but this time if the electors will not vote in favor of us, we will treat them, we will deal with them after 12 p.m. on 4th of May. That was the kind of threatening which Abhishek Banerjee gave to the electors of Arnab while he was campaigning. But today he's rattled. Both Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek seem to be completely rattled. They're stating that entire West Bengal has been made fortress of the central forces security. She's stating that there's a rigging happening. But trust me, Abhishek, on ground, the election machinery and the para forces machinery is the one which has stopped rigging since morning. Wherever there was the issue of the ballot button of BJP in the EVM in Falta in 222, in 220, 253, 252, 186 and 253 both booths, multiple booths where I reported from as well. Everywhere the BJP candidate went, the election observer came. In fact, there was a round also which was made by the CRPF officials, senior personnel themselves. The issue was resolved, and also the CCTV footage was sent to the Election Commission. Election Commission was monitoring there if any rigging is happening or not, and it was ensured to the voters that there will be no rigging. So that's the kind of trust and the immediate response timing of the para forces. Immediately, as soon as something is not well in any of the polling booth and the incidents are being reported, immediately the para forces are reaching there in minutes, in seconds. The response timing this time is absolutely fantastic, and I should give it to the para forces. In each and every polling booth they are deployed in 15 to 20 numbers. In anywhere, if people are gathering and mobilizing in narrow lanes in small villages and pockets of Diamond Harbour, Abhishek, immediately the para forces is conducting flag march.
Yeah.
That you're not allowed to stand together. You're not allowed to stand in groups. You have to go inside, cast your vote, go inside your houses. You can't gather here, you can't mobilize here. That's the kind of the activeness which we have seen this time in ground. In fact, para forces are standing there. No one has to fear. Voters are coming out. So this is different. This time the elections in West Bengal is different. Abhishek, back to you.
That's very interesting analysis that you give, Harsha. It's actually real-time feedback of how the security forces and their presence in this phase of polling has made all the difference in terms of the mobilization of voters, them coming to the polling booths and casting their vote, how they are not having any fear to come out, how the security forces are on their toes, how CCTV monitoring is making sure that there is no gathering of crowd which can lead to any kind of law and order situation. And that's really perhaps going to be the game changer this election. But whether that's going to be in favor of the BJP or still going to help Trinamool in any manner is something that remains to be seen. For that, we have to wait till 6 p.m. when the exit poll numbers come in. But before that, let's gauge the confidence of the BJP leaders through the soundbite of Suvendu Adhikari.
पीट रहा है
ममता आपकी बात
पूरा प्रदेश में अभी सीओ ने ऑर्डर कर दिया 4 से ज्यादा आदमी जहां खड़ा होगा उसको खदेड़ने के लिए जो मर्जी सेंट्रल फोर्स करना चाहिए गैस लाठी सब अलाउ कर दिया अभी
सर अभी आप जो वोटिंग हुई है उसके
पूरे पश्चिम बंगाल में
पूरा पश्चिम बंगाल में
सर जिस तरह की
सीओ ने ऑर्डर इश्यू कर दिया 4 से ज्यादा आदमी जिसका वोट हो गया घर चला जाओ खड़ा रहेगा तो सीआरपीएफ कार्रवाई करेगी
65% वोट हुआ है दादा अभी तक 65% वोट हुआ है जहां कुल 62% होता था कलकत्ता शहर में
55% होता था
अभी वोटिंग परसेंट हो गया है इस बार वोटिंग
अभी तो क्रश कर गया पुराना
दादा जब आप जय हिंद भवन में पहुंचे तो वहाँ हंगामे का कारण क्या था
बांग्लादेशी मुसलमान घुसपैठिया जिनका नाम डिलीट हो गया वो लोग कर रहा था।
लेकिन टीएमसी के लोगों का आरोप है कि आप खुद वहाँ बूथ पे काफी देर तक पहुंचे और आपने बवाल करने की कोशिश।
कि कैंडिडेट को बूथ में नहीं जाएगा, ममता नहीं घुमा। मैं 14 कंपार्टमेंट में गया है 70 बूथ में, ममता बनर्जी 4 कंपार्टमेंट में गया है 20 बूथ में। तो उनको भी राइट है 267 में जाने के लिए, 96 वो वोटिंग सेंटर है, मेरा भी राइट्स है। मैं तो पत्रकार आप लोग को भी मैं गुंजाइश किया कि बाहर रहो, वोटर को मत डिस्टर्ब करो। वो 50-60 आदमी लेकर घूम रहा था, मैं जब गया था घर में घुस गया। क्यों? असीम बोस का घर में बांग्लादेशी मुसलमान मुझे देख के उनका वोटर लिस्ट से नाम चला गया ना, इसलिए थोड़ा बांग्लादेश का जो मुसलमान का स्लोगन है जय बांग्ला कर रहा था। मैं काफी 15 मिनट तो अलाउ किया, बोलने दीजिए कैमरा में। इसमें तो मेरा 10,000 वोट बढ़ गया ना। हिंदू जाग चुका है, सब हिंदू तांता लगा रहा है, बोले हमारी हिंदू भाई के ऊपर अत्याचार कर रहा है मुसलमान लोग, हम लोग को पहले वोट दे देना चाहिए हिंदू भाई को। मेरा तो फायदा ही हुआ। और उसका बाद जब सेक्टर ऑफिसर आया, आरओ आया, सबको मैं फोन करके ऑब्जेक्शन किया। वो लोग जब आया तब मैं उनको वहाँ एक नाला है, नाला के अंदर घुसा के आया।
दादा बहुत सारी महिलाओं को आगे कर दिया गया, क्या जानबूझकर प्लानिंग के तहत आपने महिलाओं को आगे किया गया आपके सामने?
ना महिला नहीं था, 2-4 महिला था। हिंदू आपका लड़का था, सब मुसलमान। ये भारतीय मुसलमान नहीं।
क्या भवानीपुर में नंदीग्राम रिपीट हो रहा है?
इतना हड़बड़ी मत।
All right, so that was Shubhendu Adhikari putting the entire onus of the violence that was reported from Purva Bardhaman on Bangladeshi Muslims. It's out in the open now. The BJP campaign, which is Hindu consolidation and targeting of infiltrators, illegals that the BJP says have always helped the Trinamool. On that note, we slip a short break. Coming up on the other side, more of the Bengal Phase 2 polling and its coverage on the ground.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
यानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी बार एकदम सॉलिड।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा
सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to fly too close to the enemy and take big risks. The ASRAAM changes all that. It can hit targets more than 25 kilometers away, almost double the old range. It flies at Mach 3 speed and uses a smart infrared seeker that ignores enemy flares and jamming better than before. The Indian Air Force flies more than 55 of these MiG-29 UPG jets in frontline squadrons. These planes guard the northern and western borders day and night. Earlier upgrades added new radars, engines, and digital cockpits, but the short-range missiles stayed old. Now the ASRAAM brings fire and forget technology. Once the pilot locks on and fires, the missile finds the target on its own, even if the jet turns away to dodge enemy fire. It also works with helmet-mounted displays, so the pilot can just look at the enemy plane through the visor and the missile follows the eyes. This high off-bore sight ability lets the jet attack from strange angles without turning the whole plane first. This upgrade matters a lot because the region stays tense. Pakistan
Welcome back to our continuing coverage on the West Bengal elections phase 2. Now, viewers, keeping on to the violence in the EVM scandal that was unearthed just a few hours back across areas like Bhawanipur and Falta. Now, the electoral roll officer has spoken. He's taken cognizance. He says that repolling will be conducted in all the polling stations wherever EVMs were found to be fiddled with. Listen in.
रिपोल कोई होगा सर? हो सकता है ना? मोगरा हाट और जो झमेला हुआ है वहाँ
जहाँ पे ईवीएम का कुछ कैंपरिंग किया गया है वहाँ पे हो सकता है.
ठीक है, थैंक यू. लिया जाएगा? लिया जाएगा. रिपोल कोई होगा सर? हो सकता है ना? मोगरा हाट और जो झमेला हुआ है वहाँ
जहाँ पे ईवीएम का कुछ कैंपरिंग किया गया है वहाँ पे हो सकता है.
ठीक है, थैंक यू. लिया जाएगा. रिपोल कोई होगा सर? हो सकता है ना? मोगरा हाट और जो झमेला हुआ है वहाँ
जहाँ पे ईवीएम का कुछ कैंपरिंग किया गया है वहाँ पे हो सकता है.
ठीक है, थैंक यू.
Viewers, now that was the special electoral roll observer Subrata Gupta, who says that action will be taken wherever EVM tampering has been noticed, wherever EVMs were fiddled with. Repolling will take place and action will be taken against those who tried to fiddle with the EVM, the voting machine. Now, in fact, viewers, we're also looking at what happened in Falta just this morning, where EVM symbols of the BJP were taped. Now, in fact, TMC may just be losing ground in West Bengal, with voter turnout surpassing over 78% by 3 p.m. The latest that we got in. In fact, multiple cases of violence that unfolded across the state, especially in Bhawanipur and Falta. Getting you all the details after this short break. Stay tuned.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट. ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े. चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े.
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला. Delicious, healthy, every day.
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to fly too close to the enemy and take big risks. The ASRAAM changes all that. It can hit targets more than 25 kilometers away, almost double the old range. It flies at Mach 3 speed and uses a smart infrared seeker that ignores enemy flares and jamming better than before. The Indian Air Force flies more than 55 of these MiG-29 UPG jets in frontline squadrons. These planes guard the northern and western borders day and night. Earlier upgrades added new radars, engines, and digital cockpits, but the short-range missiles stayed old. Now the ASRAAM brings fire-and-forget technology. Once the pilot locks on and fires, the missile finds the target on its own, even if the jet turns away to dodge enemy.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Second phase polling underway in Bengal. Over 60% voter turnout recorded till 1 p.m. BJP buttons taped on EVMs in Falta. Repolling announced where EVMs were found taped. Bengal leader of opposition Suvendu Adhikari gherawed by TMC workers. TMC workers raised Jai Bangla slogans against Suvendu. Crude bombs recovered from Bengal's Purba Bardhaman while polling remains underway. TMC warns Home Minister Shah, says no one is going to save you from the ruthless response. Viewers, multiple cases of violence since morning, but notably this time around the violence has remained very mum as opposed to other years in West Bengal. And ironically, this is the time when Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and also TMC Supremo, she goes on to say that, this time around the state was marred with violence, when data in fact suggests completely the opposite picture. In fact, deployment of central forces, deployment of drones fitted with cameras for surveillance, the first for any election across India. A lot more that's ongoing in West Bengal. In fact, up until 3 p.m., the voter turnout has already surpassed the 78% mark. That's a huge number, playing out very positively. People are coming out fearlessly and casting their votes. In fact, also reminds me of the Prime Minister saying that the higher the voter turnout, the better the chances for the BJP to make a comeback. Will that happen or not? It remains in balance on the 4th of May. But for now, viewers, we're focusing on the cases that unfolded in Bhawanipur, Falta and various other areas, including the north and south Parganas in West Bengal, where EVMs were fiddled with. They were found with tapes, especially on the BJP candidate's mark, so as to prevent voters from casting their vote in the BJP's favour. Now, in fact, the electoral officer in Bengal has taken full cognizance of the matter. He says strict action will be taken, and this comes after the Election Commission said that repolling will be done in areas where EVMs were fiddled with. Listen in.
लिया जाएगा रिपोल कोई होगा सर हो सकता है ना मोगरा हाट और जो झमेला हुआ है वहाँ
जहाँ पे ईवीएम का कुछ टेम्परिंग किया गया है वहाँ पे हो सकता है
ठीक है लिया जाएगा रिपोल कोई होगा सर हो सकता है ना मोगरा हाट और जो झमेला हुआ है वहाँ
जहाँ पे ईवीएम का कुछ टेम्परिंग किया गया है वहाँ पे हो सकता है
ठीक है लिया जाएगा रिपोल कोई होगा सर हो सकता है ना मोगरा हाट और जो झमेला हुआ है वहाँ
जहाँ पे ईवीएम का कुछ टेम्परिंग किया गया है वहाँ पे हो सकता है
ठीक है
Viewers, a complete neck-to-neck battle between the BJP and the TMC. Remember the last time around, just in 2024, BJP first rose to become the principal opposition in West Bengal, and this time around they remain the biggest opposition against Trinamool Congress. So much so that now BJP is posing confidence of bringing in a saffron sweep in the state of West Bengal. Not just that. In fact, BJP's MLA Shankar Ghosh has also gone so far to say that the TMC has already succumbed to its losses. The TMC is nervous. They know that they're going to lose. Listen in.
How scared Trinamool Congress is right now, it can be understood by the statement of Shaukat Mullah. They use police for last 15 years. Now, when police start working according to the law, they are getting scared. That's why this kind of statement is coming out. And hopefully, Shaukat and his team, Trinamool Congress, will be booked under the law. Due to the last 15 years, the kind of atrocity they have done towards the people of West Bengal, they will be paid by the same coin. How scared Trinamool Congress is right now, it can be understood by the statement of Shaukat Mullah. They use police for last 15 years. Now, when police start working according to the law, they are getting scared. That's why this kind of statement is coming out. And hopefully, Shaukat and his team, Trinamool Congress, will be booked under the law. Due to the last 15 years, the kind of atrocity they have done towards the people of West Bengal, they will be paid by the same coin.
Viewers, now as West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee goes on to cast her vote, she also spoke about the BJP allegedly attacking TMC workers, and this back and forth between the BJP and the Trinamool Congress has been ongoing. Remember, before even the first phase of polling, that was the 23rd, and now when the second phase is almost coming to its end, 29th of April today, even then the exchanges remain the same. Mamata Banerjee says that BJP workers are heckling the TMC workers and not letting them carry out the process of people casting their franchise. Listen in.
कैसे हमारा वर्कर को पिटाया रात में ऑफिसर इंचार्ज विजयगंज पुलिस स्टेशन भांगोर जस्ट देखिए जो एट्रोसिटी कैन यू सी देखिए एक क्या गुंडाराज चल रहा है, देश को बेच दिया। ऐसे वोट कभी होता है? ऐसे कभी वोट नहीं होता है। वोट शांति से होता है, लोकतंत्र डेमोक्रेसी का फेस्टिवल होता है, लेकिन ये तो लोकतंत्र को पूरा बालोटा बजा दिया, पूरा इसको एट्रोसिटीज कर दिया। इंटेंशन इज वेरी क्लियर that BJP wants that forcefully to rig the election. But our workers and people are ready to die, but they will not leave the...
In fact, my colleague Mohan continues being with us on the broadcast. He's been on ground in Salt Lake since morning. Mohan जी, आपके आसपास हमें क्या दिखाई दे रहा है? सुबह से आप हमें बता रहे थे कि स्लो पोलिंग रिपीट की जा रही है वहां से सॉल्ट लेक जहां पे आप हैं। पोलिंग के अभी जो मार्क सरपास हुआ है वो 78% से ऊपर जा चुका है। सॉल्ट लेक में इस वक्त क्या सिचुएशन है?
जी एकदम आपने जैसे बताया, मैं बता दूं कि सॉल्ट लेक में मैं जहाँ खड़ा हूँ ये भगवती देवी बालिका विद्यालय विधाननगर विधानसभा केंद्र का जो पोलिंग स्टेशन है, यहाँ पर अभी भी कुछ लोग लाइन में लगे हुए हैं। यहाँ पे कुल 3 बूथ है, 3 पोलिंग स्टेशन है, जिसमें से करीब 82% का मतदान अब तक जो है आ चुका है। ऐसा मैंने जो यहाँ पे अभी पोलिंग स्टेशन है उनसे जो सूचना प्राप्त हुई इसके आधार पर बता रहा हूँ। ये और बढ़ेगी ऐसे
माना जा रहा है, कारण अभी भी करीब 2 घंटे बाकी है जो वोट जो पर्व चल रहा है।
Viewers, these are the visuals of Mamata Banerjee, the TMC Supremo, who has just casted her vote. In fact, remember, right after coming out of the ballot, she also said that BJP workers are heckling TMC workers. Not just that, for the first time around, when violence has been at an all-time low during polling in West Bengal, the TMC Supremo goes on to say that this is absolute butchery of democracy in West Bengal that's ongoing, with the central forces deployed and working in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Her words, not ours at all, where she says that violence has increased in the state when data actually suggests otherwise, with more and more central forces deployed. That's Mamata Banerjee, the TMC Supremo in Bhawanipur. Remember, she remains a key candidate. She's fighting against Suvendu Adhikari in Bhawanipur, and this comes after she changed her constituency.
There are so many.
दीदी আমার ফেমে ঢুকছে তো আমি আটকে গেছি দিদি চুপ
Number 2, yes. From yesterday night, they started and they arrested so many of.
All right, we're getting that reaction. Don't get that reaction from.
Concerned of it. But I have never seen this type of democracy. But instead of that, I'm saying they have debuted the press media that whatever তারা যেটা বলবে সেটা প্রেসকে দেখাতে হবে যে বিজেপি সার্ভে। আমি বলছি নো, 50 is here and তৃণমূল is winning. একদম জিত। এবং ছোট যারা ভোট করবে প্লিজ
এটা কার হাত
and CRPF cannot torture like this. See, no state police is there. None of the booths are state police. None of the booths. All they are captured. Is it their duty? They should secure the border. Instead of secure the border, they are securing one political party. I'm sorry, I have never seen this type of thing. Because in my life, I'm fighting my election since 1984. And this time the atrocities terrible. এত অ্যাট্রসিটি হচ্ছে, এত অত্যাচার হচ্ছে। এবার আমার পাড়ায় দুটো পর্যন্ত মেয়েদের মেরেছে। আর কয়েকটা ওসি নিউলি ডেপুটেড হয়েছে। কালীঘাট, ভবানীপুর, লাইক দিস চিত্রা। কি যে করছে আর কি যে না করছে আপনারা কল্পনা করতে পারেন।
ম্যাডাম ছোট্ট শিশুদেরও গায়ে হাত দিয়েছে।
বাচ্চাদের মেরেছে, মেয়েদের মেরেছে, ছেলেদের পিটিয়েছে, এজেন্টদের বের করে দিয়েছে।
दीदी एक वीडियो वायरल हो रहा है जिसमें वो लाठी से मार रहे हैं।
কল্যাণী, তুমি দেখো পুরো রানাঘাট থেকে শুরু করো, কল্যাণী থেকে শুরু করো, একেবারে বনবা বাগদার ওই বেলটা, ওদিকে তোমার আরামবাগ, খানাকুল, তোমার গোঘাট, ওদিকে হচ্ছে ক্যানিং পোস্ট। আমি তো সকালে তোমাদের ছবি দেখালাম, সব এজেন্টদের ক্যান্ডিডেটদের বের করে দিচ্ছে। ইজ ইট দ্য ফ্রি অ্যান্ড ফেয়ার ইলেকশন?
Will you take it up legally?
It is already there.
Thank you. So there you heard the Chief Minister.
Okay, we're getting that reaction from Mamata Banerjee. I'll just say what she said. She's saying that instead of securing the voters, they are securing votes for one political party. Mamata complains about the level of security in Bengal, claiming CRPF security is helping one party, not mentioning what that party is, but we can infer from there what she's meaning. I want to go back to Kishalay. Kishalay is joining us. Kishalay, Mamata Banerjee had just arrived at Mitra Institution to cast her vote, and before that she made a statement. What did she say?
Well, exactly. Mamata Banerjee has been alleging this since today morning, and she has been saying that the Election Commission is working on the behest of the BJP, and she has said that their party members, the TMC members, time and again have been tortured, beaten by the central forces, and this is all because the BJP has told the central forces to do so. Now, she reiterated all these points while she went for casting her own vote in Bhawanipur in Mitra Institution, where she has been casting her vote since long. And she, since today morning, she has been seen in
Kulveer, I have to go to the auditorium.
Quite an angry mood since today morning, where we saw that how she was aggressively going around Bhawanipur area, and she was attacking the election commission and the BJP as well. Also, we saw how Shubhendu Adhikari was clearly in a very competitive mood, and he was also going around Bhawanipur attacking Mamta Banerjee, and how she has been trying to put her own people in several parts of Bhawanipur in order to stop Shubhendu Adhikari. Now, Mamta Banerjee has reiterated all these points again, and she has said that this election commission is completely biased, and that it has been working on the behest of the BJP, and now she has gone inside to cast her vote, and she'll come out in a while. This is Mitra Institution in Bhawanipur, where she has been casting her vote since many years.
Yes, Kishanay, absolutely. Stay on with us. Now Mamta says, never saw such atrocities in my life. CRPF cannot interfere. Is that how an election has been carried out? Now, Election Commission rolled out unprecedented security for this reason, to avoid sporadic violence and clashes. This is exactly what happened. So, what exactly is Mamta Banerjee talking about?
There has been clashes in various parts of Bengal, but this is in comparison with the earlier years, this is quite a small number. So the Election Commission has already been quite successful in holding a very peaceful election this time. But Mamta Banerjee has been alleging that this Election Commission has been working on the behest of the BJP. It is biased. That is what she has been saying since today morning. Today morning, in fact, she also alleged that the Election Commission was attacking one of her councillors. One TMC councillor was beaten by Mamta Banerjee, by the BJP. This is what Mamta Banerjee told the media today morning, and she was sitting outside on the road since morning and trying to see that whether the elections are going on, the votings are going on properly or not. On the other hand, a while back, she spoke to the media saying that the BJP has completely overtaken the Election Commission, and that she is condemning this whole situation very much. But the BJP is saying this is all because she's scared of losing this election.
Right. Kishanay, hold on for a second there. We just want to play out once more what Mamta Banerjee said just a few minutes back. Okay, we're getting some more live shots. She has just cast her vote. Mamta Banerjee has arrived at, this is the Mitra Institution, Bhawanipur, to cast her vote. Let's go to Kishanay. Kishanay, Mamta Banerjee has just voted. Mamta has just voted, and she was showing the ink on her finger.
Yeah, she has just voted. She came out. She spoke to the media a while back. This particular election has been quite stormy for Mamta Banerjee herself as well, because we know that this time she was quite aggressively campaigning for the Trinamool Congress, but also her body language made it clear that she is very unsure about her victory this time. Other times, Mamta Banerjee has a completely different body language when she goes into vote or she comes out. This time, Shubhendu Adhikari is giving quite a competition to Mamta Banerjee, and that is what we see that it's being played all over the media, how she has been outside on the road since morning today, and she has been attacking the BJP, the commission, the central forces, and now she's saying that the commission has worked on the behest of BJP, and that she's sure that the BJP is controlling the commission and the central forces.
Right. Sticking on with these live shots from Bhawanipur, pictures coming
क्या
in.
रिपोर्ट आ रही है? पूरे बंगाल से क्या रिपोर्ट है आपके पास?
मेरे ऊपर चढ़ गए हो यार।
हम मेरा पीछे से प्रेशर आ रहा है, पीछे से।
तुमको जगाने देता तो दीदी जगाने दो।
ये बोलेगा ही। वो हार गया बस रिपोर्ट है, ये तो हार गया है।
All right. right. Okay, so Mamata Banerjee just voted in Bhawanipur, and Bhawanipur is a very important constituency. Now we see that it was once a stronghold of the Congress, and it saw a CPIM face before emerging after its 2011 revival, and now it's a TMC bastion. So this is a very high-stake fight there. We see that TMC versus the BJP, Mamata Banerjee just voting. If you have Kishile, let's go back to Kishile. Okay, let's go to Harsha. Harsha, coming across to you right now. Bhawanipur live pictures of Mamata Banerjee, who has just cast her vote. And before that, she made some allegations that she has never seen such atrocities before. Harsha, yes, go ahead. Okay, we'll go back to Harsha in a short while from now, but this is Battleground Bengal's very defining contest playing out in South Kolkata's Bhawanipur. The pictures that you are seeing. Let's go to Shravan, our Deputy Executive Editor. Shravan, this is the pictures coming in of Mamata Banerjee just after casting her vote.
Well, in fact, I would just like to focus a little bit about what you're essentially looking at, the body language of Mamata Banerjee. In fact, it does appear that with Mamata Banerjee's comments that she has made in the last few days in the run-up to phase 2, and essentially it has revolved around what many perceive as complaints that have been filed by Mamata Banerjee. Is this a sign of some sort of a nervousness within the Trinamool Congress? We'll go back to those live images now coming in from Bhawanipur and why it is a hotly contested seat there. You have Shubhendu Adhikari, the principal challenger of Mamata Banerjee there. In fact, it was after Mamata Banerjee announced that she's going to contest from Bhawanipur constituency, that's when Shubhendu Adhikari too took that fight to Bhawanipur, because earlier it was limited to Nondigram. But it is going to be a hugely contested elections here in Bhawanipur. In fact, the Bharatiya Janata Party playing its cards right. In fact, this is where you've had several non-Bengali population also in this particular constituency, and the messaging that has been done through this very constituency for the Bharatiya Janata Party has been about the fact that there have been no jobs. Now let's see if Mamata Banerjee speaks right now. It does appear that she is going to speak there. Let's listen.
There was lathi charge outside the polling booth also in Bhawanipur. There are so many. There are so many. Number one, they are going. Number two, from yesterday night they started atrocities and they arrested so many of our people. Though there is a problem. It is a contempt of court. We have sent out notices to the concerned authority. But I have never seen this type of democracy. But instead of that, I am saying they have debuted the press media that whatever তারা যেটা বলবে সেটা প্রেসকে দেখাতে হবে যে বিজেপি সার্ভে। আমি বলছি নো, 50 is here and তৃণমূল is winning. একদম জিতছে, সবাইকে বলবো শান্ত থাকতে এবং ছটা যারা ভোট করবে প্লিজ and CRPF cannot torture like this. See, no state police is there. None of the booths are state police. None of the booths. All they are captured. Is it their duty? They should secure the border. Instead of secure the border, they are securing one political party. I'm sorry, I have never seen this type of thing. Because in my life, I'm fighting my election since 1984. And this time the atrocities terrible. এত atrocity হচ্ছে, এত অত্যাচার হচ্ছে। Even আমার পাড়ায় দুটো পর্যন্ত মেয়েদের মেরেছে। আর কয়েকটা অবশ্যই নিউলি ডেপুটেড হয়েছে। কালীঘাট, ভবানীপুর, লাইক দিস চিত্রা। কি যে করছে আর কি যে না করছে আপনারা কল্পনা করতে পারেন। ম্যাডাম ছোট্ট শিশুদেরও গায়ে হাত দিয়েছে। বাচ্চাদের মেরেছে, মেয়েদের মেরেছে, ছেলেদের পিটিয়েছে।
Mamata Banerjee addressing a question about lathi charge In fact, she says in several places the central forces, she's leveling an allegation against the central forces, saying that they are the ones who are indulging in lathi charge. And also another sensational charge being leveled by Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, where she says children and women have also been targeted.
Is it the free and fair election? Will you take it up legally? It is already there. Thank you. So there you are, the Chief Minister.
Well, in fact, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee making an appearance before the media after visiting the Bhawanipur polling booth. I believe Shivangi, she did cast her vote right now, and perhaps this is the second time she has made an appearance through the day, and where she was trying to send across this message that everything is under control as far as their camp is concerned. And she says that she's told her party workers that they need to be patient, they need to be calm right now because Trinamool Congress is winning. Now, it's also a sign of the way she is basically responding to the strategy that has been adopted by the Bharatiya Janata Party, which has already declared that they're winning the elections. If you go by what the BJP says, after the phase 1 elections itself, they believe that they've won the elections. Harsha, Bhawanipur constituency, hotly contested constituency there. And Mamata Banerjee there, she says that she has told her party workers that they need to be calm, they need to be patient because Trinamool Congress is actually winning. It does appear that she's borrowed from the BJP playbook, because BJP, right from the time the phase 1 elections have been over, they've declared that they are coming to power on 4th of May.
One thing, Shaman, is for sure that Mamata Banerjee is furious right now. She's rattled with the deployment of the CRPF and the kind of the deployment which has been done each and everywhere. You see, this is a second appearance, and both the times she has spoken about the forces interfering in the election. She has spoken about the lathi charge. She's speaking about that how can such deployment of forces can take place. The forces have to be deployed on borders, secure the border. Why are you here? You're not letting the voters vote. And she has also made an allegation about the rigging in the presence of the CRPF officials only. Since morning, the allegations being leveled, and that the kind of the rattling we are witnessing and having seen since morning of Mamata Banerjee.
Harsha, I'll request you to, to be on the move right now, because everyone wants to get that mood. It's just about another hour or so, and then we get the full picture as far as the voter turnout is concerned. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do right now is the two responses that have come in from Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will give you a sense of what's really happening, what's really brewing inside the Trinamool Congress camp, no matter how much, Trinamool Congress says right now. It does appear that they've been irked with the kind of deployment that has taken place earlier today. Abhishek Banerjee will put out the response that came in from Abhishek Banerjee also. I believe these are the latest images now coming in from NIA. In fact, this is at Bhangor, if I'm not wrong, because that's where the crude bombs, I beg your pardon, this is in Bardhaman area, where I'm told that the NIA has again recovered yet another batch of crude bombs. In fact, crude bombs which have been largely used by several parties in the state of West Bengal. It has always been used during every election, targeting political opponents here. But this time, there has been a crackdown, and even the National Investigation Agency is there at the spot right now. These are the latest images coming in of the NIA's crackdown, which continues. Crude bombs that have been recovered from various parts. This is from Purva Bardhaman area where the crude bomb has been recovered. But this is also the district from where the maximum voting has actually taken place, the highest voter turnout that has taken place so far. In a short while from now, we'll get the fresh data coming in. Till about 1 o'clock, overall voter turnout was a little over 60%, the maximum coming in from this very district that you are seeing right now. And let me go back to my colleague Harsha. Harsha, just a quick update with regards to the measures that have been taken by the Election Commission, particularly about as far as repolling is concerned, number one. Number two, with regards to complaints of political violence. Manoj Agarwal spoke this morning where he says that they've taken cognizance of the matter. Trinamool Congress levelling a direct charge against the Election Commission also.
So, Shawan, at the end of the day, at around 7 o'clock, the returning officer and the SDM will be giving an entire report, the entire report to the Election Commission of India and the CEO of West Bengal. They have to submit the report, and on the basis of the report, it will be decided whether the repolling has to happen on the multiple booths where the news and the reports of the rigging and the reports of the ballot, BJP ballot button being taped was informed and was alleged by the BJP candidate. And once the returning officer in his report says that yes, in so booth the repolling is needed, then the repolling will happen. Election Commission of India has already taken cognizance of it, but it will be informed at the end of the day. Till now, the polling process, as it is happening peacefully, it will happen. Only at the end of the day, the final listing of the repolling, or it has happened to or not to happen, will be decided by Election Commission of India. And also, Shawan, right now at the most of the vantages, the polling is happening peacefully. The Purva Bardhaman area where the visuals on our screen were of the NIA officials, this is the same place, Shawan, we were speaking about earlier, where the recovery of bombs were done. These were the bombs which is on the fertile land of Purva Bardhaman. It is just near to the polling booth, and it was tipped to the police officials about the crude bombs being there in, it was hidden in the fertile farming land only, and immediately the NIA team have reached to the spot and they have recovered the crude bombs which were supposedly hidden there to be used in Purva Bardhaman, which is also a very sensitive polling booth and a bastion of the TMC, stronghold of the TMC candidate and leaders as well. And if we talk majorly about South 24 Parganas, Shawan, where I'm reporting from, this time BJP is expecting to grab at least 5 to 6 seats in South 24 Parganas. To tell you, in 2021, TMC grabbed 30 out of 31 seats here, but this time BJP is expecting that at least they will get 5 to 6 seats here in South 24 Parganas. That's a good number for them, looking at the population of minority in South 24 Parganas. And as we were on Bhawanipur, the visuals of Mamta Banerjee, the battle of Bhawanipur seems to be a tough battle now. Right now, no one can say that Mamta Banerjee is going to retain her bastion. Mamta Banerjee is going to win her seat, Bhawanipur. That can't be said right now, Shawan, because the kind of furiousness and the anger which is mounting right now on the TMC leader Mamta Banerjee's face clearly showcases that she very well knows that this time fair and justified voting is taking place in Bhawanipur. No one is afraid, no one is under fear, no one is under any sort of intimidation. The voting mechanism, the voting strategy of Mamta Banerjee and TMC, which earlier Mukul Roy only has made, this entire voting mechanism was disrupted with the deployment of police officers with the transfers of OCs, with the suspension of OCs, with the deployment of security officials, with the transfer of IS officer. These were general administration and police administration were the backbone of TMC in the voting machinery, being the voting machinery during election, and therefore violence used to take place. But this time, the voting mechanism has been disrupted completely, and that's the reason the fair voting is taking place, and that's the reason Suvendu Adhikari is very confident that Bhawanipur and Nandigram, both the seats, he is going to win this time in 2026.
That's right. Well, Harsha, stay on with us. And a short while back, Mamta Banerjee has made this statement that she is not happy with the level of security in Bengal. And Shawan, we just saw those pictures of NIA officials deployed in at least 7 assembly seats because the Election Commission has asked the agency to make sure that bombs are not used to disrupt the polling. So, let's go ahead and play out what Mamta Banerjee said just after casting her vote.
And all the police intelligence center, we are treating the people like guilty. Even here, they don't spare the women and child also.
There was lathi charge outside the polling booth also in Bhawanipur.
There are so many. There are so many. Number one, we are going. Number two, from yesterday night, they started atrocities. And they arrested so many of our people. So there is a problem. It is a contempt of court. We have sent our notices to the concerned authority. But I have never seen this type of democracy. But instead of that, I am saying they have debuted the press media. And CRPF cannot torture like this. See, no state police is there. What
None of the booths are state.
None of the booths. All they are captured. All they are captured. Is it their duty? They should secure the border. Instead of secure the border, they are securing one political party. I'm sorry, I have never seen this type of thing. Because in my life, I'm fighting my election since 1984. And this time the atrocities terrible. এত atrocity হচ্ছে, এত অত্যাচার হচ্ছে। Even আমার পাড়ায় দুটো পর্যন্ত মেয়েদের মেরেছে। আর কয়েকটা ওসি নিউলি ডেপুটেড হয়েছে। কালীঘাট, গবারিপুর, like this চিত্রা। কি যে করছে আর কি যে না করছে আপনারা কল্পনা করতে পারেন।
ম্যাডাম ছোট শিশুদেরও গায়ে হাত দিয়েছে।
বাচ্চাদের মেরেছে, মেয়েদের মেরেছে, ছেলেদের পিটিয়েছে, এজেন্টদের বের করে দিয়েছে।
दीदी एक वीडियो वायरल हो रहा है जिसमें वो लाठी से मार रहे हैं।
কল্যাণী তুমি দেখো পুরো রানাঘাট থেকে শুরু করে কল্যাণী থেকে শুরু করে একেবারে বনবা বাগদার ওই বেলটা, ওদিকে তোমার আরামবাগ খানাকুল, তোমার গোঘাট, ওদিকে হচ্ছে ক্যানিং পোস্ট। আমি তো সকালে তোমাদের ছবি দেখালাম, সব এজেন্টদের ক্যান্ডিডেটদের বের করে দিচ্ছে। ইজ ইট দ্য ফ্রি অ্যান্ড ফেয়ার ইলেকশন?
Will you take it up legally?
It is already there.
Thank you.
Well, in fact, you have Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee now complaining that the CRPF is basically interfering in the polls. This comes at a time when Bengal has seen much reduced violence than what we had seen in the past, be it in the previous elections or even during the Lok Sabha elections when there was large-scale violence that was reported. And this time, the Election Commission, Shivangi, had made it abundantly clear that all measures will be taken to ensure that free and fair elections are taking place. In fact, those who feared from stepping out of their homes to go to the polling booths, the focus was that they should be able to reach the polling booth, and that's the last mile connectivity that many were basically talking about, and that helps whom? It's only on 4th of May that we would be knowing about it. But having said that, this entire CRPF deployment, paramilitary coming into the picture has only irked the Trinamool Congress so much so it was Abhishek Banerjee this afternoon saying that only Rafales and INS warships, they were the only ones left to be deployed by the centre, Shivangi.
That's right. And we were getting the reactions coming in as Suvindu Adhikari has predicted a huge win for the BJP. Let's go ahead and listen in to the latest statement coming in from the LOP of West Bengal.
ममता आपकी बात
पूरा प्रदेश में अभी सीओ ने ऑर्डर कर दिया 4 से ज्यादा आदमी जहां खड़ा होगा उसको खदेड़ने के लिए जो मर्जी सेंट्रल फोर्स करना चाहिए, गैस लाठी सब अलाउ कर दिया अभी।
सर अभी आप जो वोटिंग हुई है उसके
पूरा पश्चिम बंगाल में
सर जिस तरह की
सीओ ने ऑर्डर इशू कर दिया 4 से ज्यादा आदमी जिसका वोट हो गया घर चला जाओ, खड़ा रहेगा तो सीआरपीएफ कार्रवाई करेगी।
65% वोट हुआ है दादा, अभी तक 65% वोट हुआ है जहां कुल 62% होता था कलकत्ता शहर में
55% होता था।
अभी 50% हो गया है।
इस बार वोटिंग अभी तो क्रश कर गया पुराना।
दादा जब आप जय हिंद भवन में पहुंचे तो वहाँ हंगामे का कारण क्या था?
बांग्लादेशी मुसलमान घुसपैठिया जिनका नाम डिलीट हो गया वो लोग कर रहा था।
लेकिन टीएमसी के लोगों का आरोप है कि आप खुद वहाँ बूथ पे काफी देर तक पहुंचे और आपने बवाल करने की
कि कैंडिडेट को बूथ में नहीं जाएगा, ममता नहीं घुमा। मैं 14 कंपार्टमेंट में गया है 70 बूथ में, ममता बनर्जी 4 कंपार्टमेंट में गया है 20 बूथ में, तो उनको भी राइट है 267 में जाने के लिए। 96 वो वोटिंग सेंटर है, मेरा भी राइट्स है। मैं तो पत्रकार आप लोग को भी मैं गुंजाइश किया कि बाहर रहो, वोटर को मत डिस्टर्ब करो। वो 50-60 आदमी लेकर घूम रहा था, मैं जब गया था घर में घुस गया। क्यों? असीम बोस का घर में बांग्लादेशी मुसलमान मुझे देख के उनका वोटर लिस्ट नाम चला गया ना, इसलिए थोड़ा बांग्लादेश का जो मुसलमान का स्लोगन है जय बांग्ला कर रहा था, मैं काफी 15 मिनट तो अलाउ किया बोलने दीजिए कैमरा में। इसमें तो मेरा 10,000 वोट बढ़ गया ना। हिंदू जाग चुका है, सब हिंदू तांता लगा रहा है, बोले हमारी हिंदू भाई के ऊपर अत्याचार कर रहा है मुसलमान लोग। हम लोग को पहले वोट दे देना चाहिए हिंदू भाई को, मेरा तो फायदा ही हुआ। और उसका बाद जब सेक्टर ऑफिसर आया, आरओ आया, सबको मैं फोन करके ऑब्जेक्शन किया। वो लोग जब आया तब मैं उनको, वहाँ एक नाला है, नाला के अंदर घुसा के आया।
दादा बहुत सारी महिलाओं को आगे कर दिया गया, क्या जानबूझकर प्लानिंग के तहत आपने महिलाओं को आगे किया गया आपके सामने?
ना महिला नहीं था, 2-4 महिला था। हिंदू आपका लड़का था, सब मुसलमान। ये भारतीय मुसलमान नहीं।
क्या भवानीपुर में नंदीग्राम रिपीट हो रहा है?
इतना हड़बड़ी मत।
Well, in fact, two set of responses coming in. One from the principal challenger, that is Shubhendu Adhikari, who says that Hindu voters should come out early and vote, and clearly sending across a message that if there is Hindu consolidation, and the fear basically stems also, Harsha, because last elections, the kind of Hindu consolidation that they were certainly expected did not happen. In fact, there was a margin drop of about 4%, and that did actually cost them. They're certainly hoping that this time, particularly in this phase, they're going to see what many believe, this is the dormant voters who are now going to come out and vote, even in urban areas. Kolkata, where 11 out of 11 seats had gone to the Trinamool Congress, they're certainly hoping that this time that dent is going to come in Kolkata, in Howrah, in Hooghly. These are the places where they believe that there is going to be a clear dent.
So, Shravan, according to BJP, they say that now they have experience of almost 7 elections in West Bengal. From Panchayat to Assembly to Lok Sabha, 7 elections, they have learned the strategy of TMC. They have seen how TMC, what's actually the groundwork TMC does, and how BJP never is able to infiltrate the fort of TMC. They have understood it was 7 elections. That was the off-cam briefing we had with one of the very senior minister who's also the Prabhari of West Bengal. He told us, and this time BJP has strategized so well. They have been working from last 2 years in West Bengal. They have entrusted their cadre by stating that this time they will not be left alone. BJP standing with them, because every time what happens, the cadre of BJP is left behind. The leaders leave and they are left on their own, and TMC goons, they keep on beating them, thrashing them. That was the situation of BJP cadre, but this time it's different. This time, Shravan, they've spoken with each and every cadre. They have done their cadre movement. The RSS cadre came on ground and ensured that they all are looked upon with the help of the senior leader, with the RSS cadre, and that's the reason BJP has changed its strategy and they have been able to dent in the fort of TMC. You're watching Republic TV. Massive exclusive coverage from Republic TV and Republic Bangla reporters and crew is deployed at several vantages and pockets in the phase 2 election, and 142 seats. You're watching Republic TV. Right now we are going on a short break. On the other side of the break, much more from Bhawanipur and other assembly constituency. Right now we are shifting into a short break.
AU करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री UPI QR ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम। AU
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। साथी हाथ बढ़ाना साथी रे जिंदल साथी सील साथी रे अरे सॉलिड इसकी फील है जिंदल साथी सील है तो इसकी स्टेनलेस स्टील है क्वालिटी में दम है साथी रे बिजनेस करेगा ग्रो साथी रे टाइमलेस इसका लुक है साथी रे ओ जिंदल साथी सील साथी रे
जिंदल साथी सील है तो असली स्टेनलेस स्टील है।
तो जब भी आप स्टेनलेस स्टील पाइप्स एंड ट्यूब्स खरीदें, जिंदल साथी सील जरूर चेक करें।
जिंदल स्टेनलेस, इंडियाज लीडिंग प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ स्टेनलेस स्टील।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to fly too close to the enemy and take big risks. The ASRAAM changes all that. It can hit targets more than
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाई जीरा से MDH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग असली स्वाद असली मजा
MDH
Character, the taste of success.
जिंदल साथी सील है तो असली स्टेनलेस स्टील है।
तो जब भी आप स्टेनलेस स्टील पाइप्स एंड ट्यूब्स खरीदें, जिंदल साथी सील जरूर चेक करें।
जिंदल स्टेनलेस, इंडियाज लीडिंग प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ स्टेनलेस स्टील।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to fly too close to the enemy and take big risks. The ASRAAM changes all that. It can hit targets more than 25 kilometers away, almost double the old range. It flies at Mach 3 speed and uses a smart infrared seeker that ignores enemy flares and jamming better than before. The Indian Air Force flies more than 55 of these MiG-29 UPG jets in frontline squadrons. These planes guard the northern and western borders day and night. Earlier upgrades added new radar.
First, it was Mamata Banerjee after the visit that she made to Bhawanipur's one of the polling booth where she essentially leveled charges against the CRPF. The other comment came in earlier today from All India Trinamool Congress's National General Secretary and Trinamool Congress parliamentarian Abhishek Banerjee, where he said that the BJP in fact has been trying to stop people from voting. And not just that, he also took a dig at the kind of deployment that has been done by the Election Commission, particularly with the CAPF on the ground, where he says that only thing that was left to be deployed were Indian Navy warships and Rafale. Listen to what Abhishek Banerjee had to say.
वोटर्स के ऊपर लाठी चार्ज किया जा रहा है तो भय मुक्त इलेक्शन कैसे होगा? तो भय तो आप ही दिखा रहे हो। भाई तृणमूल का बात छोड़ दो, अभी आप ही ने पूछा ना बाली में जनरल वोटर्स के ऊपर लाठीचार्ज हो रहा है, वो तो तृणमूल नहीं है। तो आप चाहते ही नहीं हो, अगर 30 लाख लोगों को आपने वोट देने से रोक दिया है तो आतंक और भय का परिवेश कौन फैला रहे? इन लोग बोलते कुछ और है, करते कुछ और है। 15 लाख का वादा दिया और 1500 करोड़ का पार्टी ऑफिस अमित शाह के पार्टी ने बनाया। तो अगर भय का बात कर रहे हैं तो भय ये फैला रहे हैं और भरोसा दीदी और तृणमूल दे रहे हैं कि आप वोट दीजिए, अपना जो अधिकार है उसका प्रयोग करिए और बंगाल को ऐसा बहुमत दीजिए कि बंगालियों के साथ, बंगाल के साथ ना इंसाफी करने से पहले ये लोग 100 बार सोचने पे आने वाले दिन में मजबूर हो जाए। बीजेपी कैन ट्राई एवरी ट्रिक्स फ्रॉम देयर रूल बुक, they will fall flat on their faces when the results come out. भाई बंगाल के, you don't know the people of Bengal. I have said Trinamool's tally will increase, Trinamool's vote percentage will increase. I stick to my claim, what I said 1 year back.
All right, viewers, let's see what exactly has been happening all throughout the day. So let's get started with that. The BJP candidate for the Pursura constituency, Biman Ghosh, has urged citizens to participate in an electoral process as a means of achieving significant political transformation in West Bengal. Expressing confidence in a decisive victory for his party, he characterized the TMC as a family-run business nearing its end and called on voters to prioritize their duties. Additionally, he dismissed allegations of an attack on TMC MP Mithali as a stage performance intended to gain public sympathy, asserting that such maneuvers would ultimately fail to save the ruling party from defeat.
भाजपा सत्ता में आएगा, बहुत सारा सीट लेकर सत्ता में आएगा और बंगाल का परिवर्तन होगा।
परिवर्तन क्या करेगा? क्या
परिवर्तन होगा? यह महिला का सुरक्षा नहीं है और सुरक्षा होगा, सुरक्षा देगा भाजपा सरकार आकर।
Dilip Ghosh, the BJP candidate for Kharagpur, Sadar said that his party's mission extends beyond electoral success to achieving fundamental social change and are fighting for real change in people's lives, observing a significant surge in voter participation, with turnout reportedly jumping from historical averages to nearly 95%. He credited this shift to the renewed confidence of the electorate. Dilip Ghosh further noted that the Election Commission's rigorous oversight during the West Bengal elections has played a crucial role in boosting public morale and ensuring a more robust democratic process.
लोग एकदम तैयार है वोटिंग करने के लिए, अपना अधिकार प्रयोग करने के लिए। इस बार देखिए, जहां 60% उसके नीचे वोटिंग होता था, 65% होता था कोलकाता आसपास में, वहां भी 85-90% तक पोलिंग पहुंच जाए। सेंट्रल फोर्स का जो और उपयोग हो रही है यूज, चुनाव कमीशन खुद देख रहा है। पहले से चुनाव कमीशन जिस प्रकार शक्ति दिखाया है, उससे लोगों का मनोबल बढ़ा है।
BJP candidate for the Baranagar Assembly constituency, Sajal Ghosh, advocated for a peaceful and fearless electoral process while urging citizens to fulfill their democratic duty. He encouraged voters to head to the polls early, suggesting that casting a ballot should be the first priority of the day before engaging in any personal activities or refreshments.
वोटर्स को जो भी मैसेज देना था पहले ही दे दिया। अभी क्या बोलना है? शांति से वोट करिए, सब आ जाइए, आके पहला आप मतदान करिए, फिर जलपान करिए, और कुछ नहीं बोलना है। बाकी सब उनको पता है क्या करना है। वोटर्स को जो भी मैसेज देना था पहले ही दे दिया। अभी क्या बोलना है? शांति से वोट करिए, सब आ जाइए, आके पहला आप मतदान करिए, फिर जलपान करिए, और कुछ नहीं बोलना है। बाकी सब उनको पता है क्या करना है।
Well, in fact, the second phase of the elections has actually seen sporadic violence taking place in various constituencies. We're going to take you through this top 10 images that defines the second phase of the elections that have taken place in Bengal.
Okay, so we are putting out those pictures coming in for you, from clashes to allegations of a couple of allegations coming in. This is a picture from Hooghly, where clashes between TMC workers and locals were reported. And here we have compiled for you these top 10 visuals coming in since morning. These pictures are coming in from Hooghly, where we saw these clashes. Last phase 1 too, the last phase 1 of elections, we saw sporadic violence and clashes. A similar case being reported this time in phase 2. Okay, let's put out some more pictures coming in. So we have pictures coming in from Havra, where there was a clash between cops and protesters. These are pictures coming in from Havra. And like we told our viewers earlier, clashes and violence during polls or pre-polls and post-polls are very common in West Bengal, and that's why the Election Commission put in unprecedented security to make sure that they intervene whenever things go awry or out of control. Let's put out some more visuals coming in. Okay, so this is a picture coming in from Amdonga. Security officials had to disperse the crowd. So a lot of the security has been deployed to make sure that whenever such untoward incidents happen, they take action immediately and disperse the crowd.
Well, in fact, in a short while from now, the result, even before the result, the poll of polls, in fact, we are the only media network which are going to project about 10 exit polls that will give you a better sense of what's really happening, which way is it really headed, whether at all there is going to be winds of change in the states of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, as well as West Bengal. That's our focus in a short while from now.
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the Advanced Short-Range Air-to-Air Missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to fly too close to the enemy and take big risks. The ASRAAM changes all that. It can hit targets more than 25 kilometers away, almost double the old range. It flies at Mach 3 speed and uses a smart infrared seeker that ignores enemy flares and jamming better than before. The Indian Air Force flies more than 55 of these MiG-29 UPG jets in frontline squadrons. These planes guard the northern and western borders day and night. Earlier upgrades added new radars, engines, and digital cockpits, but the short-range missiles stayed old. Now the ASRAAM brings fire-and-forget technology. Once the pilot locks on and fires, the missile finds the
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
साथी हाथ बढ़ाना साथी रे, जिंदल साथी सील साथी रे। हर सॉलिड इसकी फील है, जिंदल साथी सील है, तो उसकी स्टेनलेस स्टील है। क्वालिटी में दम है साथी रे, बिजनेस करेगा ग्रो साथी रे। टाइमलेस इसका लुक है साथी रे, वो जिंदल साथी सील साथी रे।
साथ ही सील है तो असली स्टेनलेस स्टील है।
तो जब भी आप स्टेनलेस स्टील पाइप्स एंड ट्यूब्स खरीदें, जिंदल साथी सील जरूर चेक करें।
जिंदल स्टेनलेस, इंडियाज लीडिंग प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ स्टेनलेस स्टील।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
The Indian Air Force is giving its old MiG-29 fighter jets a powerful new weapon from Britain that turns them into modern fighters ready for today's battles. MiG-29s first came to India in the 1980s, have flown many missions along the tough borders with China and Pakistan. Now they are getting equipped with British ASRAAM missiles that make them as strong as NATO planes in close fights. The Ministry of Defense sent out a request for proposals to fit the advanced short-range air-to-air missile on the MiG-29 UPG version. This British missile from the company MBDA replaces the old Russian R-73 that pilots used for years. The R-73 could only reach targets 10 to 15 kilometers away, which forced pilots to
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
All right, welcome back, friends. And this is a build-up to the exit poll numbers that are going to come in at around 6:30 p.m. And Shravan joins me in the studios. Shravan, we are building up to that poll of polls occasion also, where we are going to get you the best and the fastest in terms of the pollsters having crunched their numbers and coming out with who's going to be winning not just Bengal, but Assam, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry. Remember, while phase 2 of voting, friends, is continuing in Bengal, what is called the Bhadralok phase of South Bengal. But what is important is that this election cycle saw 3 other states and 1 union territory. And the exit polls would be out beginning 5:30 p.m. Of course, because of the Election Commission guidelines, we can bring them out for you only by 6:30 p.m. Arnab Goswami would be joining in at 6 p.m. And we're going to bring to you with a panel of guests a comprehensive, fantastic, deep dive conversation on where nation's politics stands. Nation wants to know where the polls are headed. And Shravan, we are ready. Well, in fact, what's different than others are doing at this stage? Republic's poll of polls, that will give you a gamut of polls coming together. And in fact, that also gives you the range that you're looking at, the sample sizes that are quite different with each of the polling that is going to take place. We're going to get you the numbers from PWAC, JVC poll, Matriz, Chanakya, as well as Access My India. That perhaps gives you the full picture. In fact, the last elections, pollsters did actually go wrong when it came to Bengal, but they were bang on when it came to states like Assam as well as Tamil Nadu. In fact, in Kerala, many did not really see the kind of performance that was put up by the LDF, and that was also somewhere down the line went wrong. But what really happens this time? Some pollsters, particularly in Bengal, are already indicating that it's getting extremely difficult to predict, given the fact that there are many on the ground who are unwilling to say whom were they really voting. Does that really mean that it's the dormant voters that you're really looking at? Fascinating elections that we're really looking at in all of these states. Some are already dubbing it as the mini general election. And on Republic TV, we give you the larger picture. But up first, let me take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Second phase polling underway in Bengal. Over 78% voter turnout recorded till 3 p.m. BJP buttons taped on, EVMs in Falta. Repolling announced where EVMs were also found taped.
Bengal leader of opposition Suvendu Adhikari gherawed by Trinamool cadres. TMC workers raise key Joy Bangla slogans against Suvendu.
Crude bombs recovered from Bengal's Purba Bardhaman while polling underway.
TMC warns Home Minister Amit Shah says no one is going to save you from ruthless response. All right, the Election Commission has called out the Trinamool's Atar tactic on EVMs by ordering repolling in all the places where that sellotape was found on the EVM buttons. And the Falta area where, Falta constituency where this was noticed and observed, the booths where it was noticed and observed, they're all going to go in for a repoll. That's a decision taken by the Election Commission. So the EC really reading the Riot Act against Trinamool. Remember, Falta Trinamool candidate Jehangir Khan has been hogging all the headlines over the last 36 hours with the observer IPS officer Ajay Pal Sharma warning Jehangir's supporters against creating any chaos or intimidation of voters, and Jehangir in turn heading back and warning Ajay Pal Sharma that there would be consequences. In the meanwhile, in the morning, we had reports of some blocks and booths reporting that the BJP candidates, the button against the BJP candidate's name in those EVM machines was sellotaped so that the voters couldn't punch in if they wanted to vote for the BJP. So, Election Commission now. All right. We have a guest, Shawan and Rhythm joins us in the broadcast with us as we build up to 6 p.m. when Arnab Goswami is going to be leading the exit polls coverage. All of 5 of them. Friends, stay with us because 5 exit polls are going to be there for you back-to-back beginning 6:30 p.m. That's because that's the Election Commission deadline. We cannot start showing you the numbers ahead of that. And as of now, everything is 0-0, but obviously that's going to change as we progress in the evening and the broadcast picks up pace. We're going to get you guests joining us from across the country, analysts, political leaders.
Well, in fact, as we go across to the short while from now, I'll just quickly take our viewers through the big political development. In fact, this was the political controversy of the day coming in from the Diamond Harbour parliamentary constituency in Falta, where this morning an allegation that was levelled by the BJP. On your screens, this was the image of a EVM where the BJP button was basically taped, rendering that machine completely useless as far as BJP is concerned. And what we are given to understand is that following a complaint that was filed by the BJP, repolling has taken place in some of those constituencies. I want to go across to our reporters on the ground, giving you a sense of what is now being seen yet again, a bumper voting that has actually taken place. Mohan is joining us from Newtown. Mohan, आपसे जब पहली बार बात हुआ था तब आप ये कह रहे थे कि स्लो वोटिंग हो रहा था. इस वक्त क्या सिचुएशन है और क्या कुछ और कंप्लेंट्स आए?
देखिए, जब रिपब्लिक भारत ने इस खबर को चलाया उसके बाद में चुनाव आयोग के जो लोग हैं वो सक्रिय हो उठे. बताया जा रहा है कि कुछ ईवीएम में गड़बड़ियां आई थी जिस खामियां को दूर कर लिया गया है और पुनः वहां पर जो है चुनाव प्रक्रिया शुरू कर दी गई है और अभी इसका रफ्तार बहुत हद तक बढ़ गया है. ये कुछ जगह देखा जा रहा है, लेकिन ज्यादातर जगह चुनाव जो है ये जो नॉर्थ 24 परगना जिले में है वो सही तरीके से हो रही है. आम लोगों का जो हुजूम इस चुनाव में देखा जा रहा है, अभी तक कई पोलिंग स्टेशन पर बहुत सारे लोग आकर, मैं बता दूं कि करीब घंटे भर पहले 84 84% से ज्यादा पुल हो चुकी है और अभी भी जो लोग हैं, अभी भी कुछ लोग कतार में लगे हुए हैं जो 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 सेकेंड हाफ में घर से निकले हैं वोट देने के लिए। लेकिन अभी बता दूं आपको कि यहाँ पे चुनाव प्रक्रिया बहुत सही तरीके से हो रही है। जहां जहां पर ईवीएम में गड़बड़ियां थी वहां पर चुनाव में थोड़ा विलंब हुआ है और जो हो सकता है कि थोड़ा वहां पर चुनाव प्रक्रिया संपन्न करने में समय लग जाए। लेकिन अगर मोटे तौर पर कहा जाए तो चुनाव शांतिपूर्ण रूप से छिटपुट घटनाओं को छोड़ दिया जाए तो शांतिपूर्ण रूप से संपन्न हुई है। आम लोग जो जिनकी तबीयत खराब थी वो भी आ गए हैं, अर्थात कैंसर के जो मरीज थे 4 स्टेज के वो भी आज इस चुनाव में शामिल हुए अपना वोट का अधिकार प्रयोग करने के लिए। जो बीमार थे वो निकले हैं, जो मतलब अपाहिज थे, पहाड़ से नहीं चल पा रहे थे, आज उन्हें भी जो है मतदान केंद्र पर देखा गया है। जो मतलब शारीरिक विकलांगता हो चाहे जैसे भी हो, सभी परिस्थिति को पीछे छोड़ते हुए आज बंगाल में एक अनोखा चुनाव सेकेंड फेज में जो है वो नजर आया। तकरीबन अभी भी करीब जो है करीब 50 मिनट के समय बाकी है चुनाव में। हो सकता है जो पिछला रिकॉर्ड रहा 93% अर्थात 92 से ज्यादा परसेंटेज जो चुनाव हुए थे वो सेकेंड फेज में हो सकता है कि उसको पार कर जाए, क्योंकि 1 घंटा पहले ही कई जगहों पर 84% से ज्यादा का जो पुलिंग परसेंटेज था वो समझ में रिपोर्ट आ चुका था और अभी 1 घंटे में हो सकता है कि वो 94 के पार हो जाए। और आम लोग बहुत ही मजे से आज इस बार का जो चुनाव गणतंत्र का जो उत्सव कहा जाता है उसमें आज शामिल हुए हैं। हर तबके के अर्थात 18 से लेकर के 80 साल के लोग जिस भी हालत में थे वो मतदान केंद्र के तरफ में आए, अपना चुनाव जो वोट है वोट उन्होंने दिया। और ये जो है कहीं इशारा कर रहा है, ये भारी मतदान जो है कहीं इशारा कर रहा है कि शायद बंगाल में बदलाव के मिजाज में है लोग, जिसका जो है इतना टर्नआउट होना या कहीं पर दर्शाता है कि जो है काफी मात्रा में लोग वोट देने के निकल गए हैं। और इसमें सबसे मतलब अच्छी बात है जो महिलाओं का योगदान, अर्थात चुनाव में महिलाओं का योगदान मैंने देखा हर जगह महिलाओं की कतार काफी लंबा थी और लोग जो महिलाएं थे वो भी अपना मताधिकार का प्रयोग किए हैं, अर्थात घर से वो लोग भी निकले हैं। बीच में अर्थात दोपहर के टाइम में थोड़े देर के लिए जो था समस्या हुआ था चुनाव प्रक्रिया में।
Our reporter for a minute, Shavan, Abhishek and I continue to be holding and trying to understand what's going to happen. 6 p.m. Arnab is going to join us to make sense of the exit polls that are going to be there. But first, well, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our guests today. We have Vaiji Madhuvanti, political analyst, joining us live from Chennai. Ratan Sharda, political analyst, who's been joining us earlier live from Mumbai. P.K. Basu, author of India Reborn, political commentator who's live from Kolkata. We're also joined by C. Rajashekharan, advocate, Congress left-leaning, joining us live from Chennai. And Kabir Shankar Bose, lawyer and political analyst, live from Kolkata. Ratan Sharda, I ask you the big question that everybody's asking. West Bengal exit poll, TMC retains power, or is it going to be BJP making inroads? Exit polls are going to be out shortly.
I think it is going to be historic. The way voting is going on, I think Parivartan is sure. And I think it is going to be an earthquake, political earthquake, never expected by most of the people. And the enthusiasm of the people, despite all the oppression, is outstanding. And this is one of the most anticipated exit poll by me anytime. I have never been a big fan of exit polls in the sense how it happens and what people tell about, but this is something where I am anticipating with a lot of keenness because I am hoping to see a change in Bengal and bring it on at par with the growth that other parts of Bharat have seen.
Yeah, Ratan Sharda, you know, it's going to be a political earthquake either way if the Trinamool retains, because kind of build-up that we have seen, the BJP almost conducting itself as if they have really won the election already.
Abhishek, the expressions of Mamata Banerjee tell me a very different story, because her reaction, her face, her expressions this morning is very defeatist, unlike the combative Mamata you generally see. So that gives me more hope. And urban areas where BJP was never strong, which was TMC's stronghold, the way people are coming out is not possible that Mamata's people are coming out. Definitely people who felt defeated, felt there will be no change, feel an optimism, and that is what gives me real hope, because phase 2 is going to be decisive.
Yeah, you know, Ratan Sharda, on this panel, we have one person amongst all of us who has actually gone and voted in Bengal. And that's PK Basu, if we have him. PK Basu is a noted economist. Generally, we have him during our budget debates, but he's here today as a Prabhashi Bengali, but who has, found time and gone to vote. Mr. Basu, what was there on your mind when you decided to travel from Delhi NCR all the way to Bengal and go out and vote?
Well, I am keenly interested.
You did not tell us whom you voted for, by the way.
Sorry?
You did not tell us whom you voted for.
Yeah, well, I'm keenly interested in the economic regeneration of my state. It has been 49 years of economic decline for West Bengal. So I am keenly interested in ensuring that we get economic regeneration. And in order to do that, we need political change. So I think from that, it's clear who I'm voting for.
Yeah.
And the point is that there was great enthusiasm. I accompanied some older people from my parents' area, my late parents. I took some of their friends to the polling stations. They are very old and infirm. And I, of course, voted in my own area. And I found that there was tremendous enthusiasm, of course. And I think the undercurrent is very clear. I mean, I've seen the undercurrent in Bengal over the last few days. I've spent a lot of time in Bengal over the past month, both in Kolkata and as well as in North Bengal. And I find that there's a very strong undercurrent of dissatisfaction with the incumbent and a great desire for change.
Yeah.
And I think there's also been, a lot of people have commented to me about the peaceful conduct of the elections here today. It's very rare, actually, in Bengal to have completely peaceful elections, particularly those who have seen the farce of the Panchayat elections and so on, are remarking on the huge difference that the central forces have made in ensuring that there's a free and fair poll. And particularly that voter suppression is not allowed. I mean, there's been intimidation of voters in the past, quite well known, including especially in some of the urban districts such as Bhawanipur. Bhawanipur has a significant chunk of middle class and upper middle class voters who have usually been prevented from voting by goons. This year, from what I can see, that has not been possible. Yeah. And so I think we are closer to having a free and fair election.
Yeah.
And I think that change is the likely outcome of that election.
Yeah. Before Shravan, come in, I must say this here that this is the freest and the fairest of elections that Bengal has seen. And look at the kind of bar that has been set, or the lowering of bar that if nobody is dying, we are heaving a sigh of relief. We are saying, wow, fantastic, what an election. I mean, that's the standard that should be. But in the case of Bengal, that's an exception perhaps to the rule. And that's why we are saying, oh, nobody died. Wow, fantastic. Phase 1, peaceful. Phase 2, only some sporadic clashes controlled by the security forces. Shravan, exit polls are going to be coming for Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Assam and Puducherry as well. So let's get all the panelists involved in this conversation and not just keep it for Bengal.
Well, in fact, Bengal seemed to have rhythm and Abhishek overshadowed what really happened in Tamil Nadu and particularly in Kerala. Madhuvanti is someone who has, crisscrossed across Tamil Nadu. She's been very vocal about the inroads that have been made by the Bharatiya Janata Party. One would essentially focus, Madhuvanti, about what really happens as far as the prospects of the Bharatiya Janata Party in Tamil Nadu is concerned. But having said that, the DMK is extremely confident, Madhuvanti, that their stronghold remains. TVK, in fact, you are also of the same opinion that Vijay is no factor?
Good evening to the three of you. Am I audible?
Yes, Madhuvanti, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, good evening to the three of you. Let me make one thing very clear. Just like in Bengal, I see a big similarity in Tamil Nadu also, where the anti-incumbency is huge. And the people of Tamil Nadu want a change. The second thing that is similar, like Bengal and Tamil Nadu, is the SIR revision. which has helped many people who actually want to go to the polling booth and vote. Unlike previous years where, dead people and people who didn't exist at all used to be casting their votes. That was a very common practice in Tamil Nadu also. So that is something that I'm very happy about. And just like in Bengal, this morning I was on your channel at 8 o'clock and I was watching the long queues of women voting for a change in Bengal, I presume. The same thing has happened in Tamil Nadu also. The women of Tamil Nadu are fed up with the existing government, thanks to the illicit liquor, the narcotics, the drug abuse problems, and the absolute lack of law and order in Tamil Nadu, and safety for women, which is nil, which is in minus as of now in Tamil Nadu. So the women of Tamil Nadu are definitely going to make a big change. And I'm also hoping, like you, for the exit polls to come. Of course, like we all say, exit polls are only an indicator. Sometimes exit polls have gone completely wrong also. But having said that, I personally don't think TVK is going to make this huge impact that everybody seems to be screaming out on top of Mount Everest and saying that Vijay, 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 because like you said, I have traveled the length and breadth of Tamil Nadu and campaigned. And I have not seen the presence of TVK beyond Chengalpet, which is a small suburban town just beyond Chennai.
Little surprising, Madhuvanti, that you are discounting TVK so much, because the conventional wisdom is that if the TVK gets 15, 20, 10, 20% vote, it's going to ultimately cut out that much vote from the DMK's vote share, and to that extent perhaps help AIA, DMK, BJP alliance. Can I take that question to C. Rajshekharan for that? C. Rajshekharan, you think that Madhuvanti's analysis perhaps is wrong, and that TVK getting whatever vote share is ultimately going to harm DMK and the Congress alliance?
Good evening. Say, I'm not an astrologer or a psephologist, neither a pollster or a political pundit. But as far as my understanding of Tamil Nadu politics for more than 3.5 decades, I can be rest assured. See, in 2016, the whole world were screaming from all TV channels, including Times Now and other national TV, which the exit poll said DMK is coming back to power. And I was the one and the only person who boldly said it is Jayalalitha once again, second term. What happened in 2016 is going to happen to MK Stalin in 2026. For this simple reason and straight question. Yes, there is anti-incumbency. The people are disgruntled, they have grievances. No second opinion. I am not defending the indefensible. Fact of the matter is, TVK is going to eat into the anti-incumbency votes of DMK. No doubt, yes. And TVK is going to take away the prospective youth vote of ADMK, BJP, which they tried to encash, which TVK is going to take. The committed, dedicated vote bank of DMK, Congress, VCK, Tirumavalavan, the Dalit voters, the CPI, CPM and Vijayagant's party is intact. Let me be honest. It is arithmetics and simple mathematics and simple political understanding. See, you are talking about something because some 1,000 people said TVK, 1,000 people said ADMK. All your national TV exit polls are going to say it is ADMK BJP alliance. You take it from me, not even single seat BJP will win independently. Of course, in Western Belt, some 2 to 3 seats they may win because of ADMK factor. But here, there is an anti-mindset against the BJP for so many other reasons. The minority vote bank, it's still intact. Vijay, yes, he claims to be Joseph Vijay. When? Just 1 month before. And no intelligent Christian will vote for Vijay because he is a Christian. This kind of cheap politicking will not work in Tamil Nadu because there is a literacy rate. SIR has made an impact in bringing votes. It is the same voting pattern, same percentage which voted in 2021. The 15%, 20% 25% did not vote.
See,
So that has been removed.
As we're all looking at what lies ahead, the one thing you started off by saying is you are not an astrologer. Let's actually see what's going to happen in Tamil Nadu. We are shifting base very close. Yes.
1 minute, Rhythm.
Go ahead.
See, again I'm reiterating.
Yes.
Again I'm saying openly in your channel.
Sure.
See, what I'm saying, I go to the tea shop in the morning. I sit and talk with people.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah, of course,
they say,
of course.
No, I'll tell you. See, you guys wouldn't have visited a local tea shop. I go daily to have a cup of black coffee.
I respect what you say.
I'll tell you.
I understand where your sentiment is coming from. And 1 minute. See that.
I'll come back to you.
I am only interrupting you. We've had many debates, but this is not a debate where we've interrupted each other. But I also want to try and go across to my colleague Sankar, who's joining us from Kerala right now. Sankar, we've seen the Kerala state witness a closely contested three-way battle. It's a 140-seat assembly. 78% people came. How are you looking at the trends? And the LDF is aiming for a rare third consecutive term. The UDF is hoping to capitalize on anti-incumbency. Several key constituencies, Sankar, expected to play a very decisive role here.
Yes, unlike the previous elections in Kerala, this time it's a three-cornered fight. NDA, BJP-led NDA has marked its presence in Kerala and it expanded its vote base and it could stage a three-cornered fight in Kerala. Unlike the previous years where the fight was only between the CPM-led LDF and the Congress-led UDF, and this time the BJP-led NDA is in the fray, and the fight this time was much tied with a high voting percentage, which came around 76.66%, which was some 2-3% higher when compared to the previous poll. But this time we should understand some facts behind it. Like, the UDF, the Congress-led UDF has been remaining without power for the last 2 consecutive terms, and this is the third election they are facing without being in power. So this time, the Congress had devised a number of strategies even before the assembly election date were declared. And even these strategies of Congress was visible even in the local body elections. Like, the Congress had framed alliance with all the communal organization or the so-called Islamic organizations.
Okay.
All the Islamic organizations such as SDPI, PFI and all. And
Shankar, I'll come back to you and, put the focus back on Bengal, because I believe a lot of more developments that have taken place on the ground. I think so that's the last half an hour or so that we're looking at in terms of the voter turnout. And there has been bumper voting that has taken place in several places, with the highest coming in from Bardhaman area. Let's quickly go across to Mohan, who is also joining us from Salt, I believe from Newtown. Mohan, ये आखिरी पड़ाव है, अब तक क्या अब तक कैसे वोटिंग हो चुका है, और किस तरह से कई सारे जो कंप्लेंट्स की बात हो रही थी, वो कंप्लेंट्स क्या वो रिजॉल्व हुए हैं, और बाकी इलाकों में कुछ और कंप्लेंट्स आए हैं क्या? I believe we seem to be having some trouble there. I'll go back to Mohan in a short while from now, but let's just quickly get a word from Sharda, who's joining us. Sharda, you heard what Madhuvanti was saying. Vijay is a no factor. In fact, Mr. Rajshekharan was also effectively saying that it is AIADMK which is going to take the hit because of Vijay. But when we spoke earlier, you were quite confident that it's going to have some sort of an impact. What does it really look like after the elections are over? I'm sure as a reporter you've got a sense there, you've spoken to people there. What's the sense like?
Well, on the ground, as you mentioned, Shaman, Vijay's TVK has taken a small part of dent from the both DMK and the AIADMK. Any person out of the four, one person says that they have voted for the TVK, especially the youngster crowd, the first-time voters, which matches 15 lakh voters of the Tamil Nadu, plus 15% of the voters are the youth generation, which is now looking at a third party. We know in the last 50 years it's been the DMK and the AIADMK. someone who's looking for a change has gone and opted for the TVK. So every 1 out of 8 person or 1 out of 4 persons say that it is Vijay's chance this time. They're trying to give a vote share to the actor to make sure that his party continues to sustain in the next 5 years and at least act as an opposition for the two traditional parties. But the question remains whether Vijay's party will make a huge dent in the DMK and the AIADMK ruling. So as we know, Vijay's party constitutes only in 243 constituencies, not 234, just 233, because one constituency where Edapadi K. Palaniswamy is contesting from, the nominations of that particular party was rejected there. So it shows that the AIADMK will win strong even in the surrounding area of where Edapadi Palaniswamy contested in. That shows where the AIADMK power lays in, and as the same goes for the Chennai urban area, but DMK still holds a strong hand here, and that makes sure whether the TVK can make a huge dent or not remains the questions which will be answered on the May 4th. Meanwhile, the traditional parties stick on to their stronger constituencies, and Vijay's party is making sure that they are getting a hold of all the constituencies in the meantime.
Well, thank you, Sharda, for getting us that quick update from Tamil Nadu. In fact, in a short while from now, we'll be getting the numbers from the various agencies there. In fact, let me go back to Harsha. Harsha, in fact, has traveled over 120 kilometers through the day. Harsha, last few hours now before the voting ends there. What's the numbers really like, particularly in areas which have been seen as the stronghold of Trinamool Congress? In fact, Trinamool Congress would be certainly hoping that this is the phase where they basically cover up the losses that happened in phase 1.
So, Shawan, if you talk about, there are so many places where actually BJP has done dent to TMC in the second phase. We can clearly say after reporting since morning in the South 24 Pargana. See, we started from Ushti, we went to Falta, we were there in the pockets of Diamond Harbour, and now, after we went to Kening area also, and now we are in the Sonarpur area of the South 24 Pargana. We'll show you the visuals. As you see, the queue is still there. The half an hour still left for the polling to conclude, and still you see the huge number of voters are still here at the polling booth, which clearly gives the reflection of what's going to be the turnout of the voting percentage here in the second poll. We have got to know that till 5 p.m. roughly, in most of the vantages, it's 90%. Most of the vantages, it's 90% already have crossed. By 6 p.m. we'll get the final turnout of voters for second phase of polling in West Bengal. But you see, as right now also many people are waiting for their turn. In fact, these are people who are inside even after 6 o'clock, even after the time ends. Those who are inside will be allowed to vote, and the kind of security measures you can clearly see in the South 24 Pargana region which have been done. We see forces in huge numbers deployed here so that there is no ruckus, there are no chaos. The people who are here in queue, in line to vote, they vote peacefully, fairly, and still people are continuously